And today, many Jewish people stopped by and they asked about what did this guy do to hurt the Jewish community, because the board said 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. Look, Despens still practices Jew hatred today. And so another board said, Paul Hastings, they don't practice law, they practice Jew hatred. So today we're so honored to have Elliot Dordick. He's the one who broke a very important bombshell a few days back on his Twitter account, and his tweet has been retweeted by many prominent and very influential community leaders from the Jewish community. So Elliot, thank you for being here. And we, the new Chinese people from the new federal state of China, we stand with you. We stand united with the Jewish community to fight anti-Semitism. So tell us what prompted you to post that tweet, and what kind of reaction have you got from the Jewish community?
Sure. Well, I started learning about the new federal state of China, the NFSC, a few weeks ago. I became interested in what everybody here protesting is talking about and some of the allegations they're making against Paul Hastings' attorneys. So I figured I would read up on some of the actual legal filings that this firm and their attorneys are putting out in one bankruptcy case in Connecticut. And I found in some of the filings, multiple, that they were substantively citing as the factual basis for core claims in their actual bankruptcy proceeding, that they were citing a well-known, notoriously anti-Semitic, anti-immigrant, racist website, and an article in particular written by an author that even the State Department, the ADL, have labeled as anti-Semitic. I mean, the founder of the site, the Unz Review, is a well-known Holocaust denier. He's endorsed claims that Jews drink blood of non-Jews, all sorts of obviously crazy conspiracy theory stuff. And so I filled out a typical ethics complaint and filed it with the First Judicial Department of New York, the First District Judicial Department of New York, and I have yet to hear back, but we'll see what comes of it. I filed it against the 4 attorneys who were involved in that bankruptcy case, in addition to Paul Hastings as a firm for lack of oversight. I mean, if this is what their attorneys are doing without pointing out to the court the nature of the actual source that they're getting their information from, while at the same time reminding the court of its obligation to view a trustee's evidence with deference, I mean, this is not an accident. They cited this article from this despicable website numerous times over several pages, and so that's what inspired me to file the ethics complaint. And I didn't make these signs behind me, but as you can tell, they've got even more fiery accusations made against Paul Hastings and some of their attorneys. So,
thank you for doing this, because as the persecuted Chinese dissidents, we know firsthand how propaganda and disinformation is instrumental to justifying the brutal crackdown and persecution. Imagine during the World War II, if without Nazi Germany's propaganda to depict a Jew in a very bad light, and then people will, have that the gut, to persecute the Jews. And so we appreciate what you do. And then, so I know you have a legal background and you're a lawyer. So were you surprised to see that a Harvard-educated attorney could go to such a despicable website to get such, defamatory information to be used as factual evidence in the federal court proceeding?
Well, more than just the fact that it's Harvard-educated attorneys putting this sort of information in federal court filings, lending credibility to, like I've said, a very despicable source. It's coming from a very prestigious law firm here in the United States. And I mean, that's what led me to file the complaint. Paul Hastings is a very widely trusted, widely respected law firm here in the U.S. with tons of attorneys. And it's that led me, that sort of got me the most fired up. I mean, if you see this sort of action or inaction from a sole practitioner or a very small firm, maybe it's not as concerning. But to see it coming from a gigantic, powerful, respected, trusted firm in the West, that's very concerning, because I have friends who, have worked at this firm, have worked at their competitors that are also equally as well trusted and respected, and that's what's most concerning. And that's why I filed the complaint, not just against the particular attorneys, but against the firm as a whole.
Yes, and most importantly, we are stand united with the Jewish community, with Elliot, condemn Luke Despin and Paul Hastings for citing such hateful information to be used as factual evidence in federal court proceeding to persecute the Chinese dissidents.
I'll add one thing. In my Twitter and Getter posts showing my entire ethics complaint, I received the comment sections were flooded with support from supporters of the new federal state of China, the NFSC, and that made it very clear to me that all of you, all the protesters here and protesting across the country truly do stand with the Jewish community in fighting against not just anti-Semitism, not just the suppression of Chinese dissident voices all over the world, but any kind of persecution. And so that was very encouraging and led to me coming here today.
Yeah, great. And how can people follow you? What's your handle in Twitter and Getter?
Sure, across all social media platforms, Twitter, Getter, Instagram. I'll just spell it out. My handle is ELLIOTDORDICK, and I look forward to interacting with all of you as you join in my following.